this is Smithia Ford with Renal Diet HQ, and today I want to talk to you about Renal Diet vegetarian meals. I get lots of emails, lots of questions whether I have vegetarian meals or not. And so coming up September 7th, vegetarian vegetable broth that you can make, anyone can make. It's delicious and it fits into a lot of recipes. So if you're trying to make some, flavorful additions to your food and you need a vegetarian broth, then it'll be excellent. So I encourage you to watch out for that. Stay tuned. I'll have it on the Renal Diet HQ Facebook page. But the other thing about vegetarian meals is that they have a lower amount of protein. So the things you watch for in kidney disease are potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and protein. Protein's the most important, in my opinion, especially when you're just beginning. And I appreciate all the feedback on the diet one the other day that I talked about diet and medication. So many people jumped in and said, hey, I agree, medication can be totally wiped out by having a bad diet. And I agree, you have to have them both, but you have to let them work together instead of working against each other. So it's like being a diabetic and saying, I'm just going to give myself more insulin. You just kind of ruined the whole thing. So vegetarian is, whether you're a lacto-ovo vegetarian or whatever type, but vegetarians basically, I know there's more detail to this, but they basically don't eat meats. So vegetarians are not going to get as much protein naturally in their food. They tend to eat more vegetables, cheese, milk, eggs, those types of things. So cheese, milk, and eggs all have the same amount of protein as like an ounce of meat. So one egg has as much protein as 1 ounce of meat, 7 grams. An ounce of cheese has about the same. So you are going to count those as the same, but anything else you might replace with protein with in a vegetarian meal, like vegetables or fruits or beans. Even beans are going to have a similar amount of protein too. So it's just that they're going to be easier to kind of fill up with. So you're going to be able to get more volume to your diet just by eating these vegetables and beans and protein. In terms of protein, you're going to get more bang for your buck because you're going to get less protein and more of the vegetables. So I wanted to give you some ideas of some things you can have as vegetarian meals. Even if you just want to add 1 or 2 vegetarian meals to your week, you can reduce the amount of protein that you eat. And when you reduce the amount of protein, you naturally reduce the amount of phosphorus and potassium, because those are naturally in protein foods. So when you lower the amount of protein, you naturally reduce that, which is why I tell a lot of people, if they're concerned about potassium and phosphorus, that if you've already lowered your protein intake, just continue, unless your doctor tells you differently, continue to see how that affects your levels, your GFR, because you may find that's enough of a change to make the difference that you want, and then you don't have to worry about the other pieces for a while until if your kidneys continue to become damaged. So couple of ideas. Vegetarian chili. So vegetarian chili is basically a chili with beans and no meat. You could put a little bit more in there, like onions, green peppers, some celery, garlic, different kinds of beans instead of the meat. And that'll help you to get, sorry, it's blowing. That'll help you to get more volume, fullness with the food. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I like carrots in my chili. I like green peppers and carrots in my chili. A little bit of onion too. Let me see what else my notes have. Oh, I know, a couple other things, like with chili spices, You want to do just a little bit of cayenne and see if it helps to spice up the flavor a little bit. Cumin, I like cumin because it's the fajita kind of seasoning. And then garlic powder, onion powder, those types of things that are not the salt, like not garlic salt, onion salt. Put them in a slow cooker for the day. It's real easy to do, and that way you have a good meal. And you, again, can take those, put them in single serving bags and keep them for another meal at another time. Freeze them, and that way you have them for another time to eat. Hi, everybody. Fajitas are another vegetarian meal that you can try. So you can use onions and green peppers and a little bit of cheese if you're interested in cheese, and even some refried beans in your fajitas. I know those don't sound like fajitas, but what you can do is put them in a flour tortilla, slice up those peppers and onions, and then saute them with a little bit of chili powder or cumin or both, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. And then you put those, you can even have avocado. I love avocado and spinach enchiladas or fajitas. So you could take some spinach and put it in a pan, put the big package of it, put a little bit of oil in there, put a little bit of garlic, and in a pan, and let it kind of wilt. And so that you just cook it for a couple minutes, and it becomes kind of like regular spinach that you're used to eating. But it's really good because it's fresh, and you can put that in a tortilla, and it's really good. Okay, let me think. Oh, and with that, you can put some, like I said, refried beans, but you could also do, if you're trying not to do the beans or not to do as much protein, you could do rice in there. So some rice and the peppers and the onions, great deal to eat. Last but not least is like pasta. So we know that pasta, like egg noodles and even spaghetti noodles, are good for you. And so you can just do some pesto or vegetables with that and make like an olive oil and a little bit of ground peppers for the seasoning, for the topping, and make yourself a nice little rice, or not rice, noodle dish. So try some pasta primavera type thing, like with some green peas and carrots, and just mix it up a little bit, put a little bit of Alfredo sauce in it. And I think those are the ones I wanted to talk about today. I think it's a good idea to try to add some vegetarian meals to your day and your week, and just see if you can use those and have a little more fullness eating a salad. Even with a salad, you can add some like beans or cheese, and instead of having to add meat, it makes it a great meal. So thanks for listening today. I will look forward to talking to you soon again, and have a great afternoon. Go on over to renaldiethq.com and get the meal plans that are on there, the free meal plans. And we have a kidney diet starter kit. If you just found out you have kidney disease, you can check out the Kidney Diet Starter Kit, and it gets you started in the right direction, gives you some recipes, gives you a grocery list, gives you meals for 7 days, and then it also has videos where I explain about different lab tests. So thanks, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.